watches a minute fast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Angela O'Hare, your favorite Las Vegas realtor.
And hey, what's up? I'm Rob Howe, Las Vegas realtor myself. Now you know how.
You know, it's funny because the last month we forgot to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And hopefully, let me text Damien to make sure that he can hear us. Babe?
It's not coming on. I'm waiting.
That's weird. It says live.
Maybe just your link.
12 p.m.
We got 2 people watching.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can hear us.
Let us
was
know
saying
Popped up.
it just popped up. Damien
All right.
was saying he couldn't see us, so that's
Yeah.
good. Let us know if you can hear us. Welcome to our. Actually, it's a big one today
Yeah.
because we're going over December numbers as well as 2024 year-end review. Okay, good. How we ended with 2024, as well as I'm going to make some predictions of where we see, or Rob probably will agree, the real estate market for 2025.
Yep.
So it's going to be
Sounds
a
good.
long show. We're not going to be talking about new construction this time or incentives because we want to recap everything that happened last year.
All right.
Okay, so let's get started. If anyone has any comments, please comment and we will answer them as they go. Right?
Yeah. Let us know you hear us. You like what you see.
Yes. So
We're not for sale, but we do sell things.
So we're going to talk about the number of closings that happened in December, which was 1,811 single-family homes. Now, these are all single-family homes that closed, which is up 10% from the prior month and up 19.3% from the prior year. So December, even though 1,800 doesn't seem like a lot, with it being December timeframe, it still was pretty good. Now, you remember that these closings happened in November, or they went under contract more than likely in November for December closing. Okay.
Yeah. October, November for December closing.
Yeah.
For the most part.
But the shocking news is that the median price, we were teetering, right? We went from 480,000 in the month of November down to 475,000 for December, which was a $5,000 decrease or a negative 1%. But still up year over year at 5.6%. So we still saw year over year increase on median price, where we had for the last 2 years now, coming this June will mark 2 years that we have had high interest rates, right? To me, it's becoming the new norm. Will the feds ever lower them? I don't know.
Well, obviously they lowered them, but it didn't happen, right?
It's still in that 7% range.
So it actually went up from what they lowered, from the time they lowered it. It's because of the way the bond market reacts. And so maybe the Fed kind of knew that in their little almost tease rate lowerage there, that they did 2 little lowering of the rates.
Right.
But they saw the writing on the wall that it may not affect actual mortgage rates that much.
But my point is this: in these almost 2 years of having high interest rates, how come they haven't been able to crunch the inflation?
Oh, well, because that's how wildly out of control the inflation was. That's the way I look at that. And I mean, really, if you look back on it, what they did, it seems drastic to us because prices are so high.
Yes.
But if you look at back when, like in the 80s, when they had to deal with inflation, then they went much harder with rates.
Yeah, but the prices were 180,000.
They were much lower, of course.
They were 3 times lower in price than it is right now.
But they could do those stronger movements and have a more immediate impact on the economy back then.
But owning a home is, to me, an American dream. Right? To be a homeowner, I think, is a goal to attain by, I would say, everybody, right? Why would you want to rent and pay someone else's mortgage, right? But it's limiting the buyer pool drastically. But, there are still buyers out there. Obviously, we had a very strong 2024. Regardless of the high interest rates, there still has buyers out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, new norm. Going back to that, when we look at the numbers, the volume is lower. So the inventory that's coming on is less. So it's matching up a little bit in that way.
Right.
But it still creates, because it's matching up, it creates still a strong real estate market,
Yes.
because
The prices aren't going down.
Yeah, you're not overloaded. If inventory was piling up under these circumstances, then we would be
seeing the prices go down.
And we can talk about what we've seen when inventory did pile up, sort of.
Well, we did. It did pile up, and I have proof of it, as was right at towards the end of 2024, like September, October timeframe. It really went up there, 7,000, 8,000 homes on the market.
8,400. It peaked at just above 8,400 total homes, not just single family.
Right.
So it was really going up. It was,
and the median price did go down, right? So 2022, the median price hit an all-time high of 482,000. By the end of 2022, I think it dropped down to 425.
What? Wait, that much? 425?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Sorry, you took me out where I didn't. think you were going.
Let me pull this up and show you.
Yeah,
you can continue talking. I'm just going to pull this up. Las Vegas Realtors.
But yeah, the inventory definitely spiked. So I think that's what we have a lot. It's always inventory is a story, but we've been talking about this.
Yeah, see right here.
Month.
Actually, I had it written down. 425.
Oh yeah.
By the end of the year. So in 2022, the peak was 482. And then by the end of 2022, we dropped down to 425,000. Once 23 happened, though, it just kept on going back up gradually, right?
Yeah.
Because after the shock
now I
of the
recall,
interest rates.
it's just so wild to me that's been 3 years already because that's so fresh in my mind when we peaked.
Right.
But that was
It'll be 3 years in May.
Years ago in coming up in 3-4 months, right? So, wow.
Yeah. So I created this. So, I always like to go over what the median price was for the last 4 years, or 3, right? In 2023, the median price in December was 449,900. In 2022, again, we just said it, 425. And then in 2021, the median price was also 425,000. Yeah. So all that you had gained in 2021, it just remained flat year over year in median price from 21 to 22. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then from 22 to 23, we had let me see if I wrote that down, almost $25,000 gain in median price. And then from 24, we had a $30,000 gain in median price. So we're getting back on our trend.
Yeah, and it's actually something I think is a bit of a surprise because I think we knew we were entering a strong year this year, but actually maybe not for you because you were calling for some big numbers and we almost hit them. But I think it is a bit of a surprise to have a $30,000 overall gain in this environment.
Well, yeah, I had predicted early in 2024 that we were going to hit our max peak of 482,000
and beat it.
But we are only 2,000 off. It was at 480,000.
Amazing that it came that close.
Yeah. So now, if we're talking about predictions and based off of the last 2-year number trends, I feel strongly if the median price is 425,000, we gained 30,000 in median price last year. If we gain another 30,000, that puts us at what? 505.
Yeah.
So as I was predicting towards the end of last market update that we will at least surpass the 482, I think we'll surpass the 500,000 median price range.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, it's the number, the trend.
Yeah.
I just follow the trend, right? Now, again, we had 2 years of high interest rates and we still saw 2 years of median price increase.
Yeah. And I think, unfortunately, we're going to end up touching on this a little bit, but I think some of the demand for Vegas is going to remain high, even higher than I would have thought until recently. Unfortunately, right? With not saying that
so
all the people in California that are dealing with fires are going to come here, but I just think that's going to continue to make it an option. Awful. Right. It is terrible.
And I don't follow the bull crap social media people talking about blaming it on the governor, blaming it on the Democrats. And I mean, this is so stupid to be blaming it on politicians or having it anything political, in my opinion. These people lost their homes, they lost their pets, they lost everything, right? And so now, like you said, people are going to be wanting to get out of California even more now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is a little natural for people to look at leadership and say, hey, what's going on here? I mean, setting party lines aside, just, hey, there was so much talk of these problems existing in California. So it is an unfortunate thing to see that the right conditions came up and basically just wiped. Unbelievable what's going on.
Well, the winds was the factor, right?
Yeah,
You can't
winds.
control that politically.
No,
but you could have controlled whatever happened. I guess it was a power line or something that sparked things.
I just think there's been a number of things once that happened that were exposed.
Right.
There were things that were not being, prioritized as much as they should have.
Prime example, what happened in Hawaii that one year. That was not handled very well either.
Not well at all, yeah. So I think people
foreign countries can have a natural disaster and get so much aid, but yes, us people in America, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So that's what I mean when I say leadership overall. I don't want to pinpoint a party. I just think, hey, we really should be getting ourselves together. And hey, every place that can have these disasters should be taking a look at themselves and saying, hey, what can we do to make sure we help people, or if we have these problems, that we can minimize them and take it more seriously? Because I think that's what I see, is it wasn't taken seriously enough, even though I have heard it on multiple occasions, people that lived there, that moved away from there, that said, hey, this was constantly a problem. And they knew that, and the insurance companies, why did they stop insuring? Because they knew their models, and I mean, it's got to be maybe AI nowadays that like really helps them even more. They have more computation. They're advanced in this, and those insurance companies said, we're getting out. Yeah, that's a big sign. That's the biggest thing you can say, is that these companies have made an assessment and said it's either going to cost you a fortune to get insurance, or we're just not doing it.
Right.
That tells me that we've had an existing problem for years now that they knew about enough to say, we're not even gonna be here in this area.
Yeah, but the same token, the insurance companies had their own hidden agenda.
Hey, I'm not siding with insurance companies. I'm just saying that's the way. It's the same thing in Florida.
Right.
Same thing
Florida,
happened in Florida.
Texas.
But I think in Florida and Texas, again, it's a little bit like, well, Florida in particular, they did prepare a lot better for these things. I think, at least from what I can tell. Now, these things that happen in Florida are massive, massive hurricanes, unprecedented things. The stuff that goes all the way into North Carolina, where it happened there, that was like, nobody knew it could even go that far and be that much of a problem. In this case, though, there was so much known. And that's where I think, we can't pretend and put blinders on. And that's just I guess I get a little passionate when I think about it.
You know what I was noticing? I blend in with the couch. Real quick, we jumped into this market update.
Sorry.
I forgot to mention, Damien now is officially licensed real estate agent. He's going to become a realtor. I didn't want him to become a realtor, but I guess in order to access anything these days, you have to have that stupid realtor title.
Stupid.
Well, I think, with the whole NAR lawsuit last year and having access to the MLS, I think it's overrated right now.
Yeah, I can understand having a bitter taste in your mouth. Speaking of leadership, okay, this is where, where we want to see better leadership in these ways. And I hope it's happening. I think it is actually in Las Vegas.
And I just wanted to briefly announce, and I've posted on social media, that I have switched brokerages to Real Broker at Urban Nest Realty.
Congrats.
Super excited about it. I'm with 400 other agents, which I think, to me, I needed that. I was in a very small brokerage that had maybe 10 agents, and I was the only top producing agent there. I think getting into a bigger brokerage, you become sheltered and become a hermit, and you don't get out, right? So I think being in a bigger brokerage, I'm able to socialize more, get to meet more agents, and also promote listings more and
Yeah.
having a bigger brokerage.
I think that's right away you can say, hey, I have buyers within my brokerage. I mean, and you're not lying.
Yeah.
You know.
And the Tinas are awesome. They have events constantly. They're always educating and training you. And it's a great office. So I just wanted to shout out to
good.
that.
Congrats
and
on
trying
a
to get
big
you
move.
transferring over because it's right next door.
Yeah.
I talked to Tamika the other day.
Did you?
And she goes, yeah, you still do market update with Rob. I love him and his mom, and they've been with us forever. And
yeah.
and their office is right down below, and the Tinas own that building.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're smart to own the building because they're in real estate. And that's what you should
exactly.
do. That is right around the corner from me. So.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get Rob to switch over as well. We'll see if that transpires.
Yeah, it just might. I think it will actually.
I think it makes sense.
I probably should not say that in case my
we don't know.
I don't
but
know.
We're trying. Anyway, let's get back to the numbers. Now we're going to go into the median price for condos. Now, condos last year was seeing some like high roller coasters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the median price in condos actually dropped again. It had a peak of 315,000 a couple months ago.
Wild.
And it went from 301,250 last month to 290,000 this month, which is a 3.75% decrease, but yet still 7.4% year over year increase. So they saw a very huge roller coaster ride in median price. So I want to go over what the yearly numbers were for median price. And in 2023, the median price for condos and townhomes was 270,000. So that's only a $20,000 increase year over year in median price. That's not that much. If it would have kept the 315, that would have been huge.
Massive.
Right?
Still massive that it made up that high.
Yeah. And then in 2022, it was 246,990. And then in 2021, the median price was 242,000.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously it's great. It's ticked up. Nothing to worry about if you're an owner of these properties. But it does signify in my estimation here, both the single family residents and the condos having a drop in the median. Exactly what we've been saying. Your time to buy was existing at that time very strongly. Okay. It doesn't mean it's completely left the building.
No.
But I do think that you may be seeing a changing market. We'll talk about that more.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at trends again, I'm always talking about this, right? It always seems like by December we will see a dip in median price. It was the last 2-3 years it was consecutive, but then once January hits, it's going to be a whole nother ball of wax.
It starts to change rapidly.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving into that springtime market. So, some people have to buy at that time. That's when it's convenient for them to do so. Fine. We'll help you and make sure that you get the best deal possible out there. But I just like to point out, because we all like to be right. And also, I hope we've helped you because that's why you listen to us.
Right.
And understanding what has happened in the market, which is it was a fantastic time to buy.
It was, especially October, November. I mean, every year, based on trends again, in Las Vegas, the best time to buy, even new construction, I mean, wholeheartedly, is this October, November timeframe because people want to make those year-end numbers. And then December is still good because it's going to reflect now in January numbers. But sellers that are selling typically are there for a reason. They need to sell. They want to sell. And that's when you as a buyer can get some really good deals.
Yep, absolutely.
So now let's see if we have any comments.
I think we had one there.
You want to read it?
How long does it take for a home in the ultra luxury market to sell on average right now? Ultra luxury market can be, if you're talking multi-million, that's where ultra luxury stands in my mind. That's a tough one.
We can look.
We can look at that, but I think that you're talking about, it very much varies on the property in the area.
I would say over 100 days.
Yeah, probably 90 to, well over 90 days.
I mean, on average, not even just ultra luxury, during that time frame, homes were staying on the market a lot longer, right?
Mhm.
So on average, but when you say ultra luxury, what do you mean? 2 million and above, a million and above, double digits,
Multi-million is
multi-million.
that's why it's so, and some people will, there's a point where they won't keep their property on the market. They'll only right in the springtime is when they'll put it
Right.
up. And then once the summer, midsummer's there, if it doesn't sell by then, they're pulling it back off and then maybe trying again, because they understand that the people that would be the buyers, their lives are, they're all over the place at certain times of the year. And it's not always the best thing to just have your property sitting on the market.
97 days.
Average. Yeah.
Average.
you were
So we
right on
said
the number,
100.
Yeah.
So 97 days. But that's 2 million and up. I didn't do ultra if you want to do like double digit ultra.
Yeah.
Right?
Because, if you're talking, millions of dollars, you don't know.
There was a house that sold last month in Summerlin that was 29,250,000.
Was that in the Summit?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was in the Summit. I will be doing a video maybe soon about the most expensive homes that sold in 2024. I got to create the script, but stay tuned for that. I always like to see what the most expensive homes are. So with that said, we're getting into the luxury market.
Mm-hmm.
Luxury
good
segue, right?
Segue there. Yes. Thank you.
There were 147 homes that sold in December over $1 million, which compared to the prior month was only 108. So that was a huge 39 home increase.
Yeah.
However, the median price slightly decreased. It went from 1.350 million to it went to 1.368 million to 1.35 million. So it had a $12,000 decrease in median price, which is not much.
Not much.
But considering all the sales they had, 147 homes.
Yeah. I think that's people taking advantage of the time and maybe understanding that a lot of the sellers that would be on the market, and this includes the certainly 1 million plus luxury market, they want to sell.
Yes.
They are on the market because they want to sell at that time. And so that when they have a desire to do that, you can go in and work deals. And so maybe some of these, transactions were really good deals.
Yeah, maybe they had a really good deal.
Yeah,
exactly. Maybe that's why the median price dropped 5,000.
Yeah, certainly. And some of these might have been, where the property needs a little love, and finally the seller gives into a price that makes sense for what they're selling.
Yeah, sometimes sellers have an unrealistic expectation or a price in mind. And we talked about this in a lot of our market updates, where sellers think that you price it higher because they're going to offer a lower price anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then that's very unrealistic. If you watch any of these real estate shows, the smart people will always tell you price it at or below market value, because if you price it right, you get more eyes on the property and you'll get more offers. If you price it above, the house tends to sit on the market longer because sometimes people, they just listed it 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to offer a lower price because it was just listed.
Mm-hmm.
So then your house sits on the market, and then it sits on the market, and it sits 90 days, and it's become very stale. And oftentimes, if you don't follow the instructions of your real estate agent, that stale listing is going to be so much harder to sell, even if you relist it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's we've been through the ringer a couple of times certainly I have on those types of transactions, and it ultimately comes down to a big, chop on the price. The price always speaks. Every now and then you get a rare situation where it works out, like the seller thinks. That usually has to do with the inventory and the availability that's there.
Right.
So,
but this isn't 3 years ago, folks, when everything was flying off the roof and you can price it at any price and it would sell.
Yeah. I mean, you might have something like a property in the Summit or one of these, higher end Summerlin luxury areas, or even something over in Henderson in the luxury area, that because there's just nothing else like it there, that you would naturally have it a little higher than what you think you're going to get. That happens because of the limited availability
Right.
in there. And you've already cornered the market by being the only thing that is available. Like
I
your
mean, I
property.
honestly think that the luxury market is going to explode.
Yeah.
The reason I believe that is because of all the film studios that are coming,
Oh yeah.
as well as, a lot of people probably now getting out of California real soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I think, okay, setting aside the people that are tragically homeless right now and going through this, let's just look at the people that didn't have a problem as far as losing their home, but are sitting there going, the insurance, I'm not insured. The only problem they're going to have is they're going to be able to sell their home and get out,
Right.
But I think a lot of these people will decide over time that, especially if conditions continue that are scary for them, that, hey, yeah, Las Vegas looks pretty good.
I think California will always be desirable.
Oh yeah.
Just because of the location and the weather. And, I think it'll always be desirable. I've been watching Selling Sunset and I really am addicted to that TV show. And it's kind of interesting to see the prices that these ladies are selling. I'm like, damn, that's the prices of Vegas now, some of these houses, right? But of course, this is I'm season 5. So that was 2021 timeframe. So
we've nearly doubled.
But it's kind of crazy to think that we're only like 4 or 5 years out from where California was 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But they've moved up. We've moved up.
Yes.
Maybe not quite as much in percentage wise that California's moved up because of some of the things that they're dealing. But I mean, like Summerlin and there are areas of California that are so darn beautiful and hot and gorgeous.
Right.
They're gonna be always desirable.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to the numbers. Let's see if there's any comments. Probably not. All right. So we had, I guess people got the message in December. We only had 1,754 new listings on the market, which is down 18% from November, but up 16.9% from the year prior. But we were kind of beating it. Like, why would you list? Don't list your house in December. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it makes sense unless you absolutely had to, right?
Yeah, I've got a lot to say about that. I'll get into as we get into some of our thoughts going forward.
Right.
Yeah.
But this was interesting. Guess what is declining, folks? Inventory. There were 4,965 single-family homes listed without offers in the month of December, which is down 10.9% from the prior month, but up 31.8% from the prior year. We're still higher than last year. However, we're starting to see a decline now. And this is where we always see this. We see up, down, up. We're going on that roller coaster ride of going down. For listings.
And this is a clear indicator of that because we're looking back.
You're right.
I'm going to tell you that we're already on the up.
Up again?
We are moving back up. We have bottomed out, folks, as far as inventory is concerned.
Right. But I think once we hit that spring selling market, just like the trends are, it's already, like you said, January hits. Yeah.
And I'm looking at the weekly numbers and I'm seeing that we went towards the end of in December, the December 30th is when I took a snapshot of our last numbers. It was at 7,770.
Wow, from 8,400.
From 8,400, 7,770. It dropped one more time, all the way down to the 7,500s.
Wow.
And now this week, ta-da, big reveal, we are going up. We are almost back to 7,700.
You know why, though?
Why?
Because it's the beginning of a new year.
Of course.
People want to list their homes.
That's what it just goes along with our exactly what we've been predicting. Right. That now you're going to start to see the inventory climbing up a little bit. It will feed what is there because there's going to be more demand along with the demand to sell.
Right. So I always like to look at 2023. We had 3,766 single family homes listed without offers, which is almost 1,200 less homes on the market than we had this year. And then in 2022, we had 6,211 single family homes listed without offers, which is a little over 1,200 more homes listed than this last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that was the start of, the interest rates going high. So we had a lot of people holding off on.
So I like to show trends, right?
Yeah.
So here is last 2024 trend numbers. Hopefully you can see us. Oh, shoot. It bumped me out. Can comment, guys, if you still see us.
I think we're still live there.
Okay, good. Wow, that was scary. Let me add my files. No matter how prepared you are, right? Something always happens. Months of supply. No, we want to do listings without offers.
There you go.
So we started out in 2024 at 3,551 homes on the market without offers. We ended at 4,965. But as you can see, when we had February, March, and April, it dipped. And then usually this is typical trend. Usually after the June market, for some reason, people get the memo and they start listing then when they should have listed back in the springtime. Then the houses always, this trend, if we were to compare it to 2023 graph that I had created, it's always like that.
Yeah, this very much represents when kids get out of school.
Yeah.
And then the usual, you
It
start
goes
to
back
get
down.
into the holidays and
Yeah.
the later in the year.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what the freak's happening. Okay, let's get back to the market update before this keeps on happening to us.
We're touchy on the slides today.
But these slides are important, folks.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get to months of supply now. This is an interesting number, months of supply. I guess I can't handle all those slides that I have on there. We are now currently at 2.7 months of inventory. I do believe in December it was at 3.4 last month when we did the market update. So we had an 18.9% decrease in inventory or months of supply. We are slightly above last year at 10.5%.
Yeah.
So that's telling you homes are starting to sell, right? 50% of the closings were on the market 30 days or less in December. In November, it was 57.9. And in December 2023, it was 57.6%. So I created a graph. Hopefully it won't pop out, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this graph is very important. I want to show you again another trend. Months of supply. So again, as you see, just like the number of listings without offers, you hit the high, right? At 2.4. We're now at 2.7. Mm-hmm. So we're going to pay attention to this to see how it goes, right? See if the trends are always right. We're going to drop when it comes to March, April, May, and we're going to go back up and then end the year at where we are. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Regardless of how much volume it ultimately represents, that's the type of graph you're going to end up seeing.
Exactly.
Yay.
Technical difficulties. All right. So I have some very interesting numbers that I found on the RJ. So this is pretty cool. A total of 31,305 existing homes, condos, and townhomes sold in 2024, according to LVR, right? This is nearly an 8% increase from the previous year when we only had 29,069 homes, condos, and townhomes sold. Mm-hmm. Notably, in 2021 was a record year when 50,010 properties sold, and in 2022, that was 35,584. So obviously, the peak 2021, 22, and then we've just been going down, but at least we beat 2023.
Yes, 2023 was not a great year for volume.
No, it was not. So that was very interesting. Yeah. Now I'm going to go over the top selling zip codes
Oh, yes.
in 2024. The zip code, surprisingly,
Yeah.
89166, which is in the top part, the northwest part of the valley, the Kyle Point, the Sky Canyon, the Sky Hills area,
Mm-hmm.
had the most homes sold in 2024, according to Clark County Property Records. It shows that 1,528 single-family homes sold, 224 townhomes sold, and 20 condos sold in the area, which is a total of 1,772 total homes in 2024.
That makes sense. Just thinking about how,
It's growing.
Sky Canyon over there is.
You have Sky Canyon, which is
It's
mostly, it's done, but you have all century communities. They're going to have
Mhm.
another 400 new homes. They're going to have a couple more new communities over in Sky Canyon. Then they're going to be done.
Yeah.
Then you also have Kyle Canyon on Kyle Point, which you have the Tri-Point Home community as well as the KB Home community.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the other side of the freeway, you have Sunstone,
Mhm.
which has grown tremendously.
Lenore
Then
there.
also in 89166, you had Sky Hills, also Providence. So that 89166 zip code has gone really big. Actually, Sunstone is 89143, so that's not part of that number.
It's on the other side.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Okay.
But still, there's a lot of tremendous growth over there. And I personally love the northwest side of the valley. I love that little quadrant of the world, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, it's it's something I've seen all my life here in Vegas is where where you have land, it's just going to keep growing out.
Right.
And that was the obvious area that you had some land left. For people who've been here a long time, that feels like it's far out.
Yeah.
But you're talking for people that come here and say, I want new, I want, these price ranges and, these features. That area really offers something. And for most of them, they've come in from places that's really doesn't feel like a far.
Yeah, if you want a reasonably priced home, especially in the century communities up in Sky Canyon, I got my clients a super great deal at the end of last year. And good interest rate financing, because Century always has great financing. Under 500,000, it's actually quite doable.
Mm-hmm.
Sky Canyon price point has seen some increases
Sure.
over the years,
Mm-hmm.
but for new construction, you can still get some really great deals over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then coming in second place is the zip code 89141. And this encompasses the southwest part of the valley, which is like Southern Highlands, the Southwest Enterprise. You have
Mountain's Edge.
Mountain's Edge down there, the 891. Oh, that area. No, Mountain's Edge is actually 89178 zip code. So they're building a lot of KB communities.
So this is really more just straight south, but not southwestern.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And property records show that 1,387 single family homes sold, 227 townhomes, and 0 condos. Because I don't remember seeing much condos over there.
Yeah, I can't. It would be all townhomes that they're building there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of dollar value, leading in the valley, can you guess what the best zip code is?
This might be a shocker.
89135 in Summerlin South, the prestigious guard-gated community of the Summit Club, a total of $1.2 billion in sales in that zip code. And the number includes $1 billion in home sales, $58 million in townhome sales, and $82 million in condo sales, which, the Summit Club has those condos. You also have Trilogy Sunstone over there. Summerlin, I always call it Sunstone, but Trilogy Summerlin. So that zip code sold $1.2 billion.
Yeah, not really a surprise considering that real estate is.
Yeah, because you have Mesa Ridge down there, you have Ascension, the Peaks Village. You just have very high-end luxury real estate, and that's where the Sony Studios is going to be. Is right there on the cusp of Town Center and the 215.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And second place for dollar value is the 89141 zip code, which is off of the 15, and they call it includes Enterprise, which is mostly probably Southern Highlands. They had 1 billion homes total sold, 92 million in homes, and 90 million worth in townhomes, which is kind of interesting. I don't know that area very well, but I'm surprised that none of the zip codes in Henderson, like the whatchamacallit,
like
Dragon Peak,
Dragon Ridge.
Dragon Ridge, but it's what's that? Foothills of and southern. I don't know.
McDonald Highlands.
Yes.
Or even just because there are cadences down there still getting built out.
But cadence is 8911011, so that's not part of that whole zip code, which is an 890. I think 12.
Yeah, I was just thinking of areas that have a lot of building going on,
right?
That might compete,
but for $1 billion, the cadence is a
there are. I'm sorry, I was still in my mind just thinking of
middle class. Cadence is more
for sure.
Yeah, I'm talking about the higher end.
The higher end
communities
stuff is McDonald Highlands, Dragon Ridge, Anthem.
Yeah,
all that. Yeah, for sure. And there's a couple others.
Yeah, I was surprised that 89141 came. Askaya. Yeah. Anyway, so that's actually the numbers. See if there's any questions. Michael's the only one. We had a lot of technical difficulties, so people probably dropped and said, "What the freak is going on?" Sorry, I'm gonna have to rewatch this and see what happened. If we ever cut off or if we kept on going.
That was the first time we really had those issues.
Yeah, and I use StreamYard, so it's interesting. Well, do you want to make predictions or go into bets and then make predictions?
Well, we can make some thoughts on
41 minutes. I thought it was going to be longer.
Well, I mean, we can get into, I think, just some, for me, what I can see coming is clear. We've touched on it. I think that the sellers are going to come out to play, and they already have started. And there will be some buyers to take up that inventory. They're getting ready to come along and get on that train. What I think we should watch is how much that, if that really gets impacted in a way where you're seeing not enough inventory again. If we go through,
but the trends always say it. I mean, even in that high, low, slow 2023, we still saw it dropping down the months of supply.
Yes. So that's what we're going to watch. If that was not on trend, then we'd have something different happening.
Right.
And so that's all I'm saying is that we will definitely update that and let you know, hey, if something's changing for the better or worse here, we're going to be letting you know. And that would be the biggest indicator right there.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be a year of listings, which, as everyone knows, I work with a lot of relocation buyers. I work with a lot of buyers. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a year of listings, which, I do maybe 5 listings a year out of the 40 deals. So I think it's going to double for me. And it's going to be interesting to see because I think people are ready to list now. I think they're saying F the stupid interest rate because, again, it's the new norm now, right?
Yes, and that's definitely something that I'm going in and talking about. Like I've got some videos, a series that I'm going to do on like millennials that just don't believe they'll ever be able to buy. And I want to be able to talk to those people and say, hey, hold on. Yeah, it's tough, but here's what you need to do to achieve your goals.
Well, they need to start saving every penny.
Yeah. And the new norm is showing you that, hey, your waiting is not helping you. You're waiting and waiting. You're just, it's getting further away from you. So you definitely.
Well, the funny thing is I had clients like even in 2021, 2022, they wanted to wait, right? Mm-hmm. Now they kick themselves in the butt because they wish they didn't wait because now they're priced out of the market.
Yeah.
Right.
And those people at those time would be well insulated with price and everything like that.
Just think how much equity they've gained.
Yeah. So even if things did change, say we have a little bit of a softening or a little downturn or anything, you would be well insulated. And those people that bought in 21, 22, and even some in 23 are going to be
especially
great.
Those bought right pre-COVID.
Oh, that's a whole other story. The last 4 years have been just
even 2020 during COVID when they bought that.
It's a 50% increase in some places. So
it's crazy, especially in Summerlin, how much they have saw an increase in equity. It's like you said, double, especially in the newer Summerlin construction areas. Oh, you know what? I do, I always like to bring up new construction. I do want to shout out to a new community two new communities that will be opened up. We have Ashland by Taylor Morrison that should be opening very, very, very soon. I have recently done a video on it. I am very impressed with these homes. They're all single-story homes. 2 to 3 car garages, options for multi-gen suites, options for prep kitchens, options for butler's pantry, lots of different options you can do. They have the interactive floor plans. They are going to be starting in the million range, which is kind of interesting to see Taylor Morrison starting in that price range. But that Grand Park district is it's very expensive, right?
It's gonna, and it's just gonna, you're just gonna be surrounded by, a lot.
Well, the Toll Brother homes, Glenrock is starting in the 2 million range. And then Shawwood is finally going to be opening up in February.
Yeah.
I don't have specifics just yet. They're going to start probably mid 1.5 million range. And they are going to be big, over 3,000 square foot, 2-story homes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see that product.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
And that's by Woodside, Shawwood and Woodside are the same builder.
Yeah.
I have to talk about new construction.
Well,
I will be posting a video next week on the top 10 Summerlin villages. Stay tuned to it. I always like to redo it every couple of years because, things change, especially with the new villages ever coming.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot happening in Summerlin West. I've got a couple of videos coming out on Rob Howe, Las Vegas Realtor, my site on YouTube, of course. It's all just model home tours. Some of these you may have seen, but I think there's a lot of updated information. And I did get the single stories for Toll Brothers up there in my new videos. That'll be
nice.
Out.
Yeah. The only thing I see over there at Glenrock is just the sales office building.
For
Toll Brothers.
Toll Brothers. Yeah. So
are you talking about Ascension model homes?
Ascension.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I wasn't going to focus on Toll Brothers. I like Toll Brothers, but they don't treat the agents right. So I never try to focus on selling their homes.
Well, they're beautiful tours.
They are very beautiful homes.
And they are, some of these, the one single story are by appointment only. So
yes.
Yeah, you have to bring
the High Rock with you. I saw it before the models were even open because I was showing clients down there. The High Rock one with the big rock in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Even agents have to make appointments, and they never opened it to the public, Ridgeline or High Rock.
Yeah.
And pretty much Ridgeline is sold out. Pretty much.
Yeah. Ridgeline is, I didn't even bother asking to film those. They don't even open.
You had to get an approval, right?
So that was very, very fortunate to get in there and film these. So that's why I don't know how many people have done any videos of those.
Not as many because it's not easy access.
Yeah.
And you had to get approval. Mm-hmm. I mean, with Pulte, you have to get approval as well. But I really love Pulte as a builder. They treat their sales agents right. They treat us realtors right, and they treat their clients right. Toll Brothers, I love them, but sometimes they can be a little greedy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through it with them sometimes,
Right.
But they build a beautiful product, and people get charmed by it.
But people think that Toll Brothers product, because they spent $300,000 to $500,000 on their model homes, that's what to expect when you buy a Toll Brothers home. It's not, it doesn't look like that, folks. It's just a bare minimum house. And what you're willing to put into it is what it's going to look like. Yeah. And if you want to spend that $300,000 to $500,000, then you're going to look like the model home.
Yeah. I go through a little bit of that in the videos too. Like, hey, some of this, the builder doesn't even offer.
Yeah.
You got to factor into, some
design choices
and getting people involved that would be able to do that for you on the contractor side.
Yeah. All right. So my prediction, and then we'll get into the bets, is, as I already alluded to in the beginning of this video, that we are going to hit over 500,000 in median price. It may take a minute. We may see like an up and down teetering like we did all year, like we saw all last year. But I think maybe 505, just based on the trends, right? Okay. It may not hit it, but I like to always aim high. Because last year I predicted it would go over, and I was 2,000 off.
And it took some time too. That was a little bit of the surprise because usually we see our peaks in the. Was it in May?
Hold on.
Was it in May? Because I feel like it wasn't. We didn't peak.
July.
It was July.
Yeah,
so
you're right. It was later than normal.
Because I remember us talking about this last year and going, okay, I guess we've kind of already, gone through the.
But it just went 5,000 down, 4,000 up, 5,000 or 4,000 down. It was like, because you can see the teetering effect.
Yeah.
It just never hit over 480.
Yeah. it kept going up. It was going
It was
up,
going up, and then it went
in the
down.
beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I would point out that was a little bit of a surprise to have it happen in the summer.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah,
because I was surely thought by May that we were gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like, oh, because May we were at 473. Then June 475. I'm like, oh, maybe I was wrong with my prediction, but
Yeah.
I came close. I was 2,000 off.
Yeah, I really, we had given up on the idea that happening, and then I think we saw June and went, wait a minute,
What's going on?
and then July was like, oh my goodness, are you going to hit this?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on what happens.
What
here.
I'll do, and I'm only going to preface it for the next 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Just again, based on trends, we are hitting our strong spring selling season. We are going to start seeing a decline in inventory. We will see increases of inventory, but just as that inventory is coming on the market, it's going to get sold.
Swallowed up.
Yep.
Yep. If there is any deviation from that is, we are going to be letting you know right away.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. We always base it on what we see, the truth, what we've seen trend wise. You know, there are still the doomers that produce the same doomer videos for the last 3 years saying that the market's going to crash. It's like that thing that cry wolf all the time, you know.
Yeah. How many times have you fallen for this? It's
how
like
many
Charlie
times you
Brown in
cry,
the football, you know.
You cry wolf and it's never happening, right? And people were listening to him and taking his advice. But if they would have bought 3 years ago, just think how much the equity they would have gained.
I'm going to be very honest here. I think that most people that listen to him are not even buying property.
True.
I think they're people that live in a dream world in a lot of ways. What they want is things to crash and then get so that it's like obvious that they're getting a deal on something, you know.
I mean, he may get it right, but it hasn't happened in 3 years.
Right. The old saying, broken clock, right? I always say this about these people. Broken clock eventually is right, you know.
Well, there's been a broken clock since 2019 because we say this in all our market, not all, but a lot. 2019, they were saying the market's going to crash in 2020. Of course, we had COVID, but let me tell you, right after June 2020,
yeah. And this isn't just act like we're so smart and that we know everything. No, we're looking at the numbers. That's what, going back to what you said, we're just looking at the facts here and seeing what trends are happening. And then within our own business, being able to assess that as well. Right. So putting all those pieces together from real actual information.
You know, I was looking, Rob and I have been doing market updates for over 4.5 years now.
Yeah.
But I was looking further. I started doing market update videos on my own in like 2017.
Wow.
So I've been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah.
They weren't as in depth as this. You know, when Rob came along, obviously it became much better because we would able to analyze and pick the numbers. But I have been doing this. So I would like to think that I can analyze numbers and see the trends.
I mean, it is a skill to do that. And certainly that's, if we can tout ourselves and put a pat on the back, we pay attention to these things, and it is our business to know that. I think what's happened, and just going back to these people who say these things, their business is to get you to watch their YouTube channel. And yes, that's part of what we want too, but really where we make our money is not, I mean, it's direct, indirect.
It's about the quality and not the quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And what this real estate agent is, if you look at their sales for 2024, it's probably zero. They're just solely now focusing on, they probably not even a full-time real estate agent. They probably just do this on the sidelines and focusing on every Saturday posting their video and doing their doom and gloom bit.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really quite a rerun every time.
I haven't even watched him.
I haven't either, but I'll see every now and then.
Yeah. His one-liner.
I'll just see the.
I mean, how many one-liners are you going to be able to use?
You can just reuse the same ones, I guess.
Yeah.
People keep falling for it. I'm just telling you, it's like Charlie Brown with the balls. You know?
Anyway, let's get into the bets.
Yes.
Let me get my notepad. There it is.
Notepad-y.
Robin Ange. There you go. All right. So Rob said last month that we were going to have, and I went first. So you were just kind of based off of what I was thinking.
We saw an increase.
You said 1,500. I said 2,000. I said it first. So that's why you went 1,500. but we actually saw a decrease. I should have known better based on what we always saw, the teetering tottering
Yeah.
going back and forth. We had a $5,000 decrease in median price. So technically no one won, but I guess Rob would win that one.
By the Price is Right rules.
Yes.
I did Price is Right you on that.
So without offers, Rob said 5350. He prices right me, or did I prices right you? Because yeah, you went first.
Yeah.
So I said 5,300. It was actually 4,965 homes without offers. I won that one. However, with months of supply, I said 3.2 months. Rob said 3.1 months, and it was 2.7 months. So Rob won that. That was a shocker to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was shocked on that.
I was definitely downtrending. It's funny that I even went above you or went above on that one, but I think it was going first is always hard without offers.
Yes.
You know, because that one seemed to really waver a lot.
So now you get to go first for January numbers.
All right, January numbers. I'm going to say that we will have a decline of $2,500. I probably could. Yeah, I will. No, I'll make it 3,000. I'm gonna make it 3,000.
Decline?
Yeah.
All right. So January reflects sales in December. I was super busy in December and I had 5 closings this month. So I think I may go the opposite. Let me look at the trends.
You could have just done this without me here right in front of you.
Let's look at the trends. 3,500, 4,900. Price. I'm going to say.
You going increase? She's going increase.
I'm going to say yes.
So we're starting off the year with a nice positive trend. In your
actually, I'm going to go a decrease also. And I'm just going to say 2,000 decrease. I'm going to be very conservative.
Well, that's not a.
I cheated though because I looked at the numbers.
Did you?
Well, I was looking at the trends.
Oh yeah.
All right. So now without offers, we are currently at 4,965. I think that I'm just gonna say I'm be super conservative and do 4,900.
Okay.
Because you're saying an increase, but the same token, we did have sales, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, are you gonna lock that in?
What did I say?
4,900.
4,900.
Because that's really. I'm gonna be very boring in Prices Right you and go just 50. I'll give it a little space. 5,100.
Okay. And then months of supply.
Months of supply.
You get to go first.
Now this is where it gets a little tougher because we did see a significant drop there.
Yes.
I'm going to just go 2.8.
Okay.
A small increase of what we're seeing, which is this. I just wanted to pick a number that's hard for you to go.
So if we had we had a 2,000 decrease in median price. We only have 4,900 homes listed. That means we're not. I'm going to say we remain the same. I'm going to say 2.7.
That was my first instinct, but I wanted to give you a hard number to work with there.
All right. Wow, you guys were quiet this time around. This was a great market update.
Yeah.
The 6 people, you didn't have any questions? Right?
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Any
news, exciting things happening in your life?
Lots of exciting things. But
getting married anytime soon?
No, not married yet.
Okay. Getting engaged?
No, not yet.
No.
And I don't know if I could answer. I don't know. It's like she just moved in October.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Finally, but we just.
I know you had been planning that for a while for her to move in October.
we only our date anniversary was the 5th of January.
Oh, so you're coming up for a year.
Yes, and really like when
you already had a year.
A date anniversary. Yeah. So
what is date of your first date?
first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then when did you guys get serious?
About 8 days later or so.
Okay. So technically you were really dating on the first date, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I mean, that's how Damien and I, we met on summer solstice in 2022, June 21st, 2022.
Okay.
And the moment we met, we knew it and we're dating.
Yeah. Yeah. It took me a little while to get her to go out on a date with me. And then, yeah, from there, I worked some sort of magic. But yeah, no, things are going well, and just getting ready for a lot of new things this year. I think it's
gonna be a crazy busy year.
It is. It looks that way for me too. So yeah.
Well, folks, thank you for sticking in. We did an hour. We could have probably ended it a little shorter, but what's Rob and Ange real estate market update without us going over an hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay tuned for next month's market update. Now you can always, Rob's information is down in the description below. If you want to subscribe to his channel or reach out to Rob, or of course me, if you're thinking about buying or selling here in Las Vegas, one of us would love to help you out.
Yeah. Now you know how. Anytime.
Yep. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Rock on.
And do it peacefully. And we'll see you on the next one.
I got a little confused there for a second.
You should know how to do it after 4.5 years.
I think I'm just leaning back too far.